This is Nike's extended executive summary presented by Madison LeBlanc, covering key points about Nike's strategic performance over the last several years of their existence since they were founded in the 70s. The first point that we want to address about Nike's performance is their empowering mission to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. One of the more creative aspects of Nike's mission statement is that they do add an apostrophe saying that if you have a body, you are an athlete, noting that they really are targeting every person in the world and empowering them to be an athlete in any way that they wish to be. And they do so by creating and innovating the equipment that they need to do so. I think this has really contributed to Nike's success and their innovative technology that they've developed so far in their existence. The important part to remember too is that Nike has always been a leader in their market because of the innovative technology that they have brought to athletic wear in general. The second point is that Nike is executing their current strategic plan effectively and responsibly, handling any current threats. That was our findings from several different analyses that we conducted throughout the course of the CLC assignments. All matrices analyses that we conducted did show that Nike was consistently a leader in their marketplace and was definitely performing better than their competitors. The most important part, I think, of that, though, is that they were responsibly handling any current threats. I mean, with every company, there are going to be threats that you need to be aware of, but all threats were definitely yielded with short-term solutions, which is really important and definitely a huge indicator of their overall company health and their performance. The next is Nike's biggest strength, which is their well-established brand image. I think this is a huge advantage that Nike has over competitors, even whenever they do start to threaten them in different ways. Nike does have a very well-established brand image and a loyal customer base, which has helped them remain competitive even when other competitors are trying new strategies to try to take different parts of the market share away from Nike. Their well-established brand image remains consistent and really hasn't changed too much over the years. And I think that's definitely due to their massive impact they've made with marketing and advertising. The next is Nike's biggest weakness, which is falling behind competitors in the digital space. This is a huge area of opportunity for them right now. The digital world is not going anywhere and has only continued to grow definitely drastically within the last year with COVID-19. Many companies were able to capitalize on this and had already capitalized on it before COVID, but with the pandemic, there's definitely a huge opportunity where Nike could have improved their digital sales and they did not, where other competitors had definitely capitalized and performed better in that area. So their biggest weakness right now is definitely the digital realm and improving that so that they can better serve their customers in that space as well. So recommendations that we have formulated for Nike is reducing marketing costs. Their marketing costs are definitely far surpassed by any other competitor in their market space. I know Nike has definitely built a name for itself in the marketing world with a variety of ways that they've chosen to market their company. And I don't see that going away for them anytime soon, but any way that they can reduce those costs so that they can improve profit margins and just spend less money in this area would be recommended. The next would be focusing on digital sales. Like mentioned before, this is a huge area of opportunity for the company right now. And with the digital world only growing more rapidly and more people shopping online and it being more convenient for people to shop online, this is definitely an area that Nike needs to focus on because ultimately consumers are going to want to have that luxury available to them. So a huge focus on that would be recommended. And then the next is encouraging ethical business practices. This is always going to be a recommendation that our CLC group decided was definitely huge for Nike right now. They do a great job of encouraging this, and they do talk a lot about how they are in business for the better good of others, but I still don't think it's at the forefront of the organization like other organizations have developed that name for themselves, that they are here for the greater good and that they're practicing business ethically. For Nike, it does take a little bit more digging to find that information. So I think putting that at the forefront and letting consumers all over the world know how Nike practices business ethically would be a recommendation that we had. And lastly, as far as Nike's business practices combined with a Christian worldview, they're not entirely consistent with a Christian worldview, but Nike does embody several important standards of conscious capitalism and Christian principles. I do believe that they do practice business ethically, but they do not come out hand in hand with a Christian worldview or conscious capitalism business practices. They uphold social responsibility, which is very important, and I do truthfully believe they live to their mission and to their vision statement values. And they are out there in their communities trying to make an impact in any way they can. Nike's pillars are people, planet, and play, which they encouraged basically to use their business to improve the lives of people, help the planet, and encourage people to get outside, play, and be athletic. As an organization, they do practice conscious capitalism, and they do an excellent job of not only running their organization, but contributing to the greater good while doing so, which I think is very important. And overall, I will say, while not maybe hand in hand with a Christian worldview, they do a good job of, as such a huge worldwide global company, they do a great job of practicing business ethically and as soundly as possible.